incorporate a lot of the experiences that I'd had over my years as an actor. And as it developed, it became deeper and deeper with the family issues, with his son and his father, his ex-wife, and it was surprising to me that something that started out just as something that I hopefully would be funny, which I think it still is, ended up with a lot deeper meaning inside of it. So I was really pleased when that happened.
Yeah. I have to say that it was one of those type of books that I couldn't put down. I've read many books. I've had a lot of friends send me books that have wrote books and novels, and this was one of them that I didn't see, and I know you even mentioned there might be some mistakes, but I hadn't really even noticed that many mistakes in the proofreading. It was just an enjoyable book that I could not put down.
Thanks, Rosemary. Yeah, I got an email from someone yesterday who said they started reading it the night before and had to stay up all night long because they actually couldn't go to sleep until they found out what happened. So it's very complimentary to me that people would say such a thing, because so many books are frankly easy to put down, and it's a nice compliment to know that that's not the case with this one.
Yeah, truthfully, I would never say it to any friend that sent me a book, but I've had a couple friends that have sent me books that it was kind of like, okay, can I go on to the next page, because it was something that just didn't keep my interest.
Yeah. Well, that's one of the tricks about novel writing, is you've got to create enough questions in the reader's mind. You've got to keep the story interesting and keep them turning the pages. One of the best books I ever read about writing novels said you have to keep your reader dreaming the dream, and I really like that.
Yeah, and this, like I said with your book, it kind of helps a fan to become, to bring forth their dream. Like I said, my cousin, she wants to get into acting, and the first thing I recommended to her as soon as your book came out was, I said, pick up this book. It's going to help you out. It's going to tell you a little bit about what you have to go through to become an actor.
Yeah, I think anybody considering a career in show business owes it to themselves to read this book, because it's based on so many experiences that I've had in 30 years as an actor in Los Angeles. A lot of them are funny. A lot of things that happen to the protagonist are sad. A lot of them are frankly frightening, and I think it gives a really accurate representation of what you can expect trying to be a performer, certainly in Los Angeles, but really almost anywhere. The rejection, the constant testing of your abilities, the auditions, the demands that it makes on you, both mentally and physically. It's all in this book.
Yeah, but I will say this, I never realized how much you guys had to go through as actors. I mean, I'll sit there and enjoy, like the cartoons or the TV shows or the movies, but I don't realize all the trials and everything you have to go through just to get a part.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, the work part of our work, when we're actually doing our work, is the joyous part. But getting there is incredibly difficult. I mean, trying to convince people to hire you through auditions, and 98% of the auditions that you do, you won't get. And there are going to be some that you really, really want, and it's going to be really, really disappointing, and you have to be ready to face those sorts of disappointments. It's a very difficult business to be in.
Yeah, and that's another reason why I recommend this book. I've got like a ton of friends that want to become voice actors, and it's like they say, how do you get into the voice acting business? Because they know I talk to some of the voice actors, and like I said, this is what I've been recommending. I said, read this book. This book will help you out. It'll let you know, hey, this is where you got to start. This is what you got to do.
Yeah, exactly. After you read this book, you may decide that you don't want to do it after all.
I don't know if you remember him or not. This isn't to do with the book, but if you remember Arthur Burkhart.
Sure, absolutely.
He mentioned to me once, he and I talk sometimes online, and we'll talk on the phone about regular house things, what we're doing around the house and such.
Yeah.
And he says, when you come out to California next time, I'm going to show you how to do some voice acting. And I said, you know what? After seeing some of the things you guys have to go through, I think I'll just enjoy it.
Exactly. Why put myself through this? Yeah, you really have to have a drive if you're going to be successful as an actor. So many people come out here, and I've heard people say, well, I'll give it a year and see what happens. And my response to that is, don't even come, because you really need to come here committed to, it's either acting, it's either success or death. That's how you have to think of it. You can't come out here and just stick your toe in the water and expect to make any progress. I was out here for 5 years before anything really started to happen for me. It took 5 years for me to establish myself in the city. Now, if I'd given myself a 1 year, I'd be selling insurance at this point.
Yeah, I know it's a really, people really think that it's glamorous and that it's fun, and that's really what a lot of the fans think at the conventions. They'll say, how can I become a voice actor? They think it's all fun. They don't realize there's a lot of work. There's a lot that goes into it. You're not just going in and doing a voice and having fun with it. Because I know sometimes the sessions can be fun, because I've heard a lot of them say, oh yeah, we have fun, and like you had mentioned, Scatman Crothers playing the guitar, it was fun. But there was always that work, all that time you had to put into just getting the part and then playing the role the way it was supposed to be played.
Well, that's the real work, Rosemary. Getting the part is the real work. The fun comes when you get to play the part and actually do the job. And yeah, we when we were doing Transformers, and when I did Spider-Man, and when we did Sectars, and when we did G.I. Joe, we had a ball doing those sessions. And I can't say that we didn't, but the real trial comes in getting there. And as I've said, I'm going to up it to 99% of the auditions you do, you'll never get. It's that 1% that you're hoping for, and you're hoping that 1% is going to be something really, really good and is going to be able to support you for a while.
Yeah. I know Neil Ross had mentioned that before, too. He said sometimes you'd think like you're getting a really big role like that, like you just mentioned, the Sectars. He said that looked like it was going to be something huge. He said there was billboards up on it. There was all kinds of advertisements and everything, and then they found out, oh, it's only going to be like 10 episodes.
Right.
And
well, I did one, I don't know if you remember this one, it was called Ring Raiders. And it was based, of course, around a toy line, these little rings that had little airplanes attached to them. And I was cast in the lead, and I thought, oh boy, this is going to be great, another 65-episode series. And, for an actor, that's a big thing, because it's a lot of work, and it's a lot of, steady money coming in, which is what you're hoping for. And we did 5 episodes, and that was it.
Yeah, and they made it sound like, oh, it's going to be something big.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's always something big. I mean, if I had $1 for every something big that I was going to be involved in, I would have a lot of dollars.
Yeah. It's like Neil said it was a kick in the, well, he said it was a kick in the ass, but not to offend anybody.
It's funny, I've worked with these guys for so many years that it's such a treat to get together with them when we do the conventions and the screenings and stuff, to see them again, because it's just nice to be with all these people. And I love Neil. Neil and I did a lot of shows together. We did one called Spiral Zone together. We did we were in of course Transformers together, and it's really great to see all these guys again.
Yeah, they are. It's wonderful, and you guys were amazing out there at the movie showing. I love that. But I didn't mean to drag it off from the book, but I tell you what, I think that this book really, just from the things we were talking of, reading this book, it's a must for those fans that really want to become a voice actor, or for anybody that wants to get into the acting field. This book is a must. Yeah,
I absolutely. I mean, as I've said before, my actor friends who've read this book said this is the most accurate representation of what you go through as an actor, of anything that they've ever seen or read. And that was a real compliment to me. And it's because it's based on many, many of the things that have happened to me. And some of them, I said, that they're hysterically funny. Some of them are incredibly sad. Some of them are depressing. but it really gives you an idea of what you would have to go through in order to be a success in this business.
Can you tell fans where they can find and buy this book online?
Yes, you can go to Amazon.com and do a search on the title, Drowned in the Grenadine, or on my name, Dan Gilvezan, Gilvezan, and it will pop up either for your Kindle or as a paperback version, so you can order either one. You can also get it if you're a Nook owner, which is Barnes & Noble's e-reader. You can get it from BarnesandNoble.com by doing the same thing.
Are you planning on doing any signings or anything like that?
We had a signing out here, and it was really great. We had a signing a few weeks ago, and it was a lot of fun meeting people and getting a chance, and a lot of fans showed up for it too. So it was a lot of fun. We don't have anything planned at this point, but you know, I will let you know if something's happening, and then you can go ahead and let everybody else know.
Okay, and also, this is on your main website too. Your main website.
Mm-hmm.
And are you?
Yeah, if you go to dangilvezan.com, the very first page will direct you to the books page, where you can read the first chapter. You can. We did a kind of funny trailer for it, a 30-second trailer for the book, which I tapped one of my voiceover friends to voice for me. And you can also order the book. There are buttons to press that'll take you to the Amazon site or the Barnes & Noble site to order the book. So if you go to dangilvezan.com, you will end up, if you press the right button, on the book page.